Oh man, it's been a little while. I don't go there. It's been really tough for me to get any videos up on the channel because I've just been so busy with work. And well, I warned of this. This new job I have, it's not a hard job. It's just I go in the morning, I don't get done until about 5, and it's a 30-40 minute drive depending on traffic. And by the time I get home, I make dinner, and I don't want to do nothing. I just want to relax because I only get a couple hours, and then I gotta go to bed and do it all over again. So it's been really tough for me to manage my time with this job and everything. So my apologies. Not to mention, if you can't tell by my voice, I've been a little sick. Just got a cold, you know, nothing crazy, but it doesn't help when you're already tired and you got just so many other things you're doing, and you know. Figured just kind of get a little video here, tell you what's going on. I gotta change the oil again in the Mustang. Feel like, every time I turn around, I'm changing oil in this thing. I drive it so damn much. Oh, and it sucks. I just wish I had more time to do videos. I just simply have not. I'm unsure if I'm going to film anything this weekend. I had planned to, but, being sick, there's other things that I have neglected to do. Adult responsibilities are unfortunately more important than YouTube videos, so I'm probably gonna have to wait until next weekend to film that one. But I have the stuff to do it. I just, need the time. And any more time is just, man, that's some precious stuff because it's not a lot of it to go around, it seems. There's 24 hours in a day and however many minutes that is. But no matter how many that is, it just never seems to be enough. But if you've seen the thumbnail, that pretty much says it all. It's a slow process, but quitting won't speed it up. Yeah, slow process indeed. And it just seems like it gets even slower. If the tortoise taught us anything, it's slow and steady wins the race. So hopefully he's right. Yeah, and it's cool. I'm actually excited to do this next video. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but something fun. One of my experiment videos I like to do. I just have fun doing them. Yeah, let's just get everything nice and wet. Love it. Oil pan. Need to find something to lay on. I need another creeper. I need a lot of things. Oh man, that's a lot further back than I remember it being. Oh. Yeah, and it wouldn't be so bad if I wasn't wearing white. Furthermore, it wouldn't even be that bad if it wasn't wet. But everything's wet in Florida like all the freaking time. So yeah, it's a slow process, but we're getting somewhere. It's just gonna take so much freaking time, me losing my job, coming down here, set me back so much that now the things I had planned to do are not gonna be, when I planned to do them. Everything's gonna get pushed back. Oh God, I forgot to open up the drains in the oil pan. Oh man. Hurry up. That would have sucked if I didn't catch that. Well, I guess while my hand's soaked in oil, I can feel it. It feels nice. This Castrol stuff holds up pretty good. But, I have a really big project for the car here in terms of a performance, it's like an experimental mod that I wanted to do performance benchmark testing on. That's of course going to get delayed. I mean, I got a couple pieces, one main piece, but There's still a lot of large pieces to the puzzle I have yet to acquire, and I just simply can't, because honestly, before I even spend the money on that, when I do get a chance to spend money on car parts, I'm going to have to put tires on this car. You know, these tires should have been replaced, you know, a month or two ago. I just haven't had the chance. I'm running them pretty much until there's literally nothing left. But I tell you what, they're still doing all right, these Pirellis. They haven't let me down so far. Hold on, I ain't got enough good luck to throw around like that. Before I do anything else to the car, any fun stuff, I'm just gonna have to get tires on it, which is still a big mod in a sense, because I wanted to get some nice tires. It's just not a fun project. Like, that's, you know, everything needs tires. The thing I want to do, and it don't need. And we know good tires are gonna make a difference. And what I wanna do, who knows if it's gonna make any difference or not. That's why I wanna do it. It'll all come in time. Lots of time. But sooner or later, we'll get there. It's just, I really, really wanted to expedite this whole process and just kind of get myself on the map a lot quicker than I've been able to. And let's be real, you know, you can sit there and advertise and market your YouTube channel, Instagram, and all that. You can do that all day long. That's only going to bring so many people in, you know, and you're spending money to do it, especially if you're doing ads and whatnot. What's really going to bring people in is exciting projects and different things that I've been wanting to do. And I've just been so unfortunate money-wise to do it. I mean, that's the whole point. You know, people want to see the crazy stuff and the cool, unique ideas and builds from these different creators. I mean, I do the same thing, you know. That's why a lot of these huge creators, I mean, you know, for example, one of the new ones that kind of blew up recently, Wesley Champlin. He was pretty much a small little YouTube channel. You know, I think he was at the time still, you know, pretty much bigger than mine, but in the grand scheme of YouTube, he was nothing. You know, you would never know the guy existed. Then he starts, you know, building that Mustang with the come-in swap. And it was just weird enough to start grabbing the attention of the internet. You know, more and more people start talking about it. More and more people started following the build. And then all of a sudden, a year or two later, he's a 1 million+ sub-net channel now. It's insane. That's the key to success with the Automotive YouTube channel, I do believe. You know, at least doing the stuff I want to do. All comes down to time, money, and the ability to make it happen. You know, a lot of these guys, you know, they already have either the time, which that's usually the one thing most people don't have, but the ability to do so, you know, or they got the money to pay someone to do it, you know, and get it done. And they're big, big things. And without those, it really does slow the process down. Now, I'm not saying it makes it impossible. No, of course it's possible. But it definitely slows it down. You know, my 3rd year into YouTube, I was hoping to be in 10,000 plus range subscribers. You know, I'm still stuck at 2,000 subscribers because my content has been mediocre. I mean, you know, I do my best to try to make fun videos. That's why I love doing my experiment videos. I think that's what helps me set myself apart from some of the other small channels out there, you know, that might bring people in. And I love doing stuff like that, you know. I love doing my experiment mods and stuff, and doing my testing videos and whatnot. You know, I have so much fun doing those, and I plan to do so many of them. It's just, as I stated, you know, I'm just limited by funds. And like I said, now, unfortunately, instead of being able to start, you know, putting money into the projects here, I have to start putting money back into play. Oh, I made a huge mess on the driveway. Oh, that's gonna be fun to clean up. Anyways, I have to start putting money back into places they should never have came from. You know, I should never have to put money into in the first place. But what are you gonna do? You can either sink or swim, and I chose to try to keep my head above water. Oh great, need more towels. Yeah, it's always running out of something around here. The only thing I hate about this EcoBoost engine is the location to fill the oil, you know, being back here. One thing I loved about the Cobra is the oil fill was like right here, so it was just so much easy to get to. And the fact that the EcoBoost sits further back behind the axle, it's just harder to get to in that respect. But I'm not even sure. I've never really done anything with a Coyote. I don't even know where the oil fill is on that, but seeing how other dual cam Fords are, I would imagine it's somewhere relatively easy. Oh, good old Castrol Edge 550 for my Hypo 2.3. So freaking crazy that this car takes 550. But that's how you know it's a real screamer. Only the Ford's best takes 550. Everything else is 540 max. You know what? I tell you what, while I'm sitting here doing this, the other day I was leaving for work. I got in the car, set down the road like I normally do. You know, I never, ever, as long as I can help it, never try to get in the boost. I try to take it easy so the oil temps warm up. Anyways, I was leaving for work and I start going down the road, and halfway down the road, I got a check engine light. I'm like, oh, now what was that all about? Because I know the car was running fine, and I haven't changed nothing. Nothing changed. I checked my gauges. Nothing looked out of normal. I'm like, so, okay, so what the hell's going on? And once I get to work, because the car was still running fine, and once I get to work, I plug in my, you know, X4, scan the codes, and it was, I forget the code, P... I don't know, it was D0D something, I don't know. But it had to do with the crankcase ventilation system. Evidently, there's a sensor somewhere that monitors the flow of that. And that sensor, you know, reported low flow. So I'm like, okay, well, the only thing I could figure that would be is a line came loose or something. After work, I checked everything, especially with the catch can. You know, I got the Mishimoto catch can, I checked everything. And, you know, I thought maybe because the catch can got prematurely full, not changing the oil in the amount of time I normally would. So I checked it and no, it wasn't really that full. So I'm like, that couldn't have been it. You know, I wiggled everything around and I checked everything and nothing seemed to be out of place. I cleared the code and, well, that hasn't came back. So I guess it was just a fluke. I mean, I read about that. Actually, this was a big issue with the EcoBoost engines, is the sensor can get all weird and whatnot and trip the code for no reason. Even though that, you know, some people have had issues, you know, after installing catch cans and intakes, they had to get the code. And some people, stock cars, would get the code. So it's just whatever. As long as it isn't actually an issue, I do not care. But I tell you what, something else that I found very interesting during that whole process is when you get a check engine light or any type of fault in the vehicle system, of course you're going to get the warning light on the dash. But newer Fords, with the Ford Pass app that you get on your phones, you get an alert on there as well. You know, hey, check your car out, something ain't right. And, you know, of course enough, I did get such thing, and it gave me the code and all that. But actually what really, really shocked me wasn't the fact that it told me the code or all that. It's like, okay, no, I understand all that. But generally, you know, what you would expect is it immediately tells you to take it to your nearest Ford dealership for servicing, or, you know, some bull crap like that. And to my surprise, it actually did not suggest to do that. And instead of taking it to a dealership first thing, it actually suggested and told me things I should look out for to resolve the issue of my own. And I'm like, you know what? I appreciate that. I really do. to me, I would do that anyway. But your average person, you know, they would be like, oh man, something's really wrong. I'm gonna have to take it in now, because they just don't know better. And even if they were somewhat smart enough to know they didn't have to take it in, or it wasn't that serious, maybe they weren't really sure what to look for, but it tells you what things to check to try to resolve it that way first. Now, I don't know if it does that on everything, but this particular issue, it did. So yeah, needless to say, I really appreciate Ford given the option and ability to diagnose the vehicle to the, you know, the person driving the vehicle first before giving that option to the dealership, which we all know no one wants to have to deal with. All right, I am making a hell of a mess with this oil change. I blame it on not feeling well. All right, actually this will be the first time I've used a full quart. Sometimes I put a half quart, but a full quart of Mr. Oil in the oil. I only did this for a couple of reasons. One, to substitute a really expensive quart of Castrol Edge. Two, you know, it does provide some benefits. You know, I figured at this oil change interval, maybe it will help, you know, get into certain parts and lubricate them. Hey, I don't want to hear any of that. So we'll give it a shot and see how it is. Theoretically, because Marvel's Mr. Oil is a little bit, you know, it's a lot thinner. It thins out the oil a little bit. To, you know, 3W47 or 40, you know, it just thins it out a little bit. In one way, that would actually be fine, because in theory, that should help with some fuel economy, not having the thick, super thick oil create additional resistance and with the pistons. So I always welcome that. Quicker oil flow, but really, and the only time I ever did this on any of my cars, like in the summertime, I would not bother. In the wintertime, I would, because it, you know, I felt like thinning the oil out just a little bit during the winter would help with cold oil flow. And I feel like that was mostly a correct theory. You know, here in Florida, you're starting it up in the morning when it's already 70, 80 degrees, so not really that big of a deal. You want more protection when the engine's hot, which gets hot pretty quick. Thinning the top number out a couple ain't gonna be that big of a deal, considering that you probably could get away, even with the high performance 2.3, you probably could easily get away with 540, which is what the normal EcoBoost takes, as long as you're not racing it. You know, under normal driving circumstances, which is what I use this car for most times. I've never raced it other than just my fun runs I do every now and again. We'll see how it goes, see how the car reacts to it. All right. Yeah, so I think that's gonna wrap it up here for this video. I just wanted to kind of let you know what was going on and whatnot, and it wasn't really about the oil change. I just figured I would use my time strategically. That's what's going on. Just been busy with work, life, you know how it goes. You all deal with it. Hopefully we'll have some fun stuff here soon we can do on the channel, and you know, it's a slow process, a very, very slow process, but quitting does not make it any quicker. See you in the next video.